Hello all and welcome to the very first episode of Beyond Beauty, the Tatiana Method. I'm Jezebel Martinez Fabregas and today I will be your host. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about reinvention, not only professionally but also personally. And who are we going to talk about?
I'm introducing the star of this podcast, Tatiana Sarmiento. Tatiana, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me today.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tatiana. Tatiana is a nurse practitioner currently living and practicing in Florida, United States, and her journey has been anything but easy. She left her country, her home, her family, and started from zero in a giant like the US. Let's start from the beginning. Tatiana, what was that specific moment when you felt your life was about to change?
Okay, in 2018, everything changed for me. Venezuela was going through one of its hardest moments under Chavez. And my family, all ophthalmologists with the clinic, felt it deeply. We went from doing 15 cataract surgeries per week to zero. No patients, no work, no future. I remember standing in the clinic realizing that the life I had built, the career I loved, was slipping away because of something completely out of my control. And in that moment, I told myself, maybe this is the sign, maybe it's time to go. I mentioned the idea to my uncle and he just I mentioned to him going to the United States to study and he said, go and stay there. There's no going to get better here. Leaving was the hardest decision of my life. I left my mom alone, my family, my friends, my entire world. But nothing but took suitcase, I took it with me on my heart. But that painful leap became the beginning of my journey in the United States. A journey that led me aesthetic medicine to reinvention, to purpose, and the woman I am today. That's it.
Your story actually speaks such a long story, such a long journey in such a short space of time. And when you hear that, you see a lot behind it. I've seen you practice in your clinic, and I can say that when someone walks in Regi FP, it doesn't smell like a clinic. It feels like humanity, like the warmth with which you treat your patients. When did you realize, Tatiana, your career was meant for something much bigger than you originally imagined, and what did you do next?
I think was when my patient started telling me things like, you brought back my confidence, or you helped me believe in myself again. And those words changed everything for me. Everything that I will do, it has a sense now. They weren't about beauty, they were about healing. That's when I understood my ambition. Wasn't ego driven. Thank God, because this is aesthetic, right? It was the ambition to serve. And my path didn't begin here in the United States, okay? I came with my Venezuelan, my Colombian background that shaped the way I practice today. I work with plastic surgeons in Venezuela as a surgical assistant. So I always had the vision, okay? My cousin in Colombia, she's a plastic surgeon. So I grew up surrounded by anatomy, precision, and medical artistry. So in my eye, I was already trained. Later, I trained with a preceptor from Brazil who taught me how to combine structure with the natural, expressive beauty. So the Brazilian aesthetics are known for to be always beautiful and put it together. When I arrived in Florida, something powerful happened. Florida is incredible multicultural. Every patient has a different bone structure. different skin behavior, different cultural ideas of beauty. And that pushed me to study techniques from all over the world, Europe, Asia, Latin America. So I could treat each person with true personalization. So try to keep the anatomy, I start blending everything I had learned, my surgical background, my Venezuelan Colombian Miss Venezuela, Miss Universe Foundation, the Brazilian artistic approach, and the global techniques. I continue to study here in the United States, and my mom says something. I know for sure Tatiana is always studying, and that's true. At that point, my work stopped being just injections. It became transformation, physical, emotional, and inhuman. So that's when I knew this wasn't just my career. This was my purpose.
Yeah, and there is something funny that you said. You remained in the US. Well, more or less. She's very well known for constantly investing in global education, traveling, researching, study different aesthetics cultures. So tell us, Tatiana, what fuels that passion?
For me, excellence is the core of everything I do as a nurse practitioner, as an injector, as an educator. That's why I never stopped studying, I never stopped learning, I never stopped teaching. For the past 5 years, I've been an instructor with Empire Medical Training, helping thousands of providers grow. And recently, I joined Hub Medet as an online educator, where I continue sharing advanced techniques with practitioners around the world. That's very exciting. My passion for global education comes from understanding that beauty is no one dimension, it's cultural. So I travel, I research, I study different aesthetic philosophies. I'm proud member of AMS, the American Multidisciplinary Association, and I constantly updating my skill through international mentorship. I went to Sweden 2 summers ago to study advanced lip technique with Julie Horn. I trained with Dr. Tim Pearce. I received guidance from Dr. Tom Bach-Egg from London. And in the very beginning of my United States aesthetic career, I learned unique approach from Dr. Asta Halim that shaped my foundation. Dr. Crowley, from who I keep learning as we work together. And now, as I prepare to attend to MWC Monaco in 2026, I know the journey will never end because I keep evolving and I will keep going through my searching my goal. Okay, I want it to be global, and aesthetic is global. So I want to give this to the patients and the students that I teach. So actually, that's what fuels my passion.
So as you can see, she's always eager to travel, to learn, and to go on growing. And in the end, is what she was saying, your work is not just a clinic, it's a global brand. But how did you achieve that? Because I know that you were doing a lot in your social media account, in your personal brand. So how did Tatiana became in Tatiana Sarmiento?
So for me, building a global brand was never about becoming big. It was about becoming consistent in my education, my empathy, and in the way I show up every single day. I just go. The first pillar is education. I didn't just learn aesthetic, I built my life around it. And now, as an educator, I give back everything I learned so others can grow too. The second pillar is empathy. I'm an only child. My father passed away when I was 9 years old. So my mother became my entire world. And today, as she battles cancer, she continues to teach me the greatest lesson of all. To wake up every day with a smile, to give my best even when...
It's fine. It's fine. They usually say in some films that the most beautiful flowers blossom in adversity. So I understand why your career blossomed so much. Having a strong mother as a pillar always helps us to grow and to go farther and farther. So she is a strong pillar, and that's nice to see that she still supports you in your growing, even under those circumstances.
Me and the strength, no? She said to give my best even when strength is hard to find, and to treat every patient and every student with humanity first. So, and the third pillar is consistency. You know, even I'm crying, but I keep going. I show up on days when I was tired, afraid, overwhelmed. You can see it. But I keep going because I knew what I was building, or what I'm building, because I keep building. Okay, this brand that it will be Beyond a Clinic. Okay, brand that educate, inspire, and serve. Red UFP became global not because of luck, but because every part of my story, every challenge and every victory shaped me into the woman, a professional I am today. Yes. I practice it so many times to don't cry.
That's totally fine. These kind of circumstances are also challenges that make us grow more and more. And I know that you are not only focused on your own personal growing journey, but also you are guiding others to be better and better. And that's precisely the next topic, mentorship. I know that some times ago, you decided to create this path to success, and others saw you shine and wanted to learn from you. And one of them was Viviana. For those of you who don't know, Viviana is her apprentice. I had the opportunity to meet her in person a couple of months ago when I was in Miami for an event in which Tatiana and I worked together. And Viviana started working with her years ago. Tatiana was telling me in Fort Lauderdale a couple of months ago, she was very, very curious about what Viviana would do after her stay, but she decided to remain by Tatiana's side. Tell us, why does she still remains with you, and what is the best part of being a mentor?
Wow, Viviana is special. What I enjoy most about being a mentor is watching someone grow and discover their own power. And that's exactly what happened with Viviana. I met her years ago through my mentorship program. She arrived eager, hungry to learn, always with her notebook, her question, and an incredible passion. At the beginning, I honestly thought she will learn everything and then leave me, as many people do. But instead of leaving me, she stayed. She stayed because she believed in the mission, in the work, and in the heart behind everything we do. Today, Vivian is not just someone I mentor. She is my assistant, my support, and a beautiful example of what happens when someone is given both opportunity and guidance. Mentorship is powerful because it transforms two people at the same time. The mentor and the apprentice. And for those listening who want to improve their techniques, grow professional, and be part of something bigger, new mentorship programs are coming, and I would love to help you grow the way Vivian did.
Wow, amazing journey with Viviana, and very nice experience to find an apprentice that becomes kind of part of the family of Red UFP. And in the end, people see success and the global courses, the achievements, but I guess Viviana sees the bitter phase of that success, the long days of work, the long nights thinking about how to do it, how to match all the patients. Behind all that success, Tatiana, is a personal journey of healing, we've had the opportunity to see that part of the healing during this podcast that goes sometimes unseen. How was your personal growth influenced with this professional success? How did your personal life so impacted by this success?
Yeah, people see the success, the courses, the global trainings, but behind of all of that, there is a woman who had to grow, heal, and fight to be here. As a Latina in the United States, the path is not easy. There are culture challenges, and changes to professional barriers, and for me, one of the biggest obstacles was the language. I came here without knowing English. I have a strong accent, and for a long time, I didn't feel confident because of it. I will never forget teaching for Empire Medical Training class in Charlotte, a city with no Spanish speaker in the room. I started the class by apologizing for my accent, afraid they wouldn't understand me. And one of the attendees, an American doctor, born and raised, looked at me and said, "Don't ever be ashamed of your accent. That is you. That accent carries you, all your hard work, and your entire story." Wow, his words touched me deeply because in South Florida, I have been judged and even made fun of for the same accent, often by people whose parents were immigrants themselves. But that doctor, someone who spoke perfect English, reminded me that my voice mattered. That moment gave me my confidence back. My personal growth has shaped my professional success because every challenge, every fear, every barrier forced me to rise stronger. And today, I show up not just an aesthetic provider, but as a Latina woman who carves her own path and continues craving in every single day.
I can't say I relate to that story because as a Spanish woman working also in the international spheres, I've heard a few times comments about my Spanish strong accent and my English pronunciation, but in the end, languages are bridges and they are meant to make people understand each other. So yeah, all the support from this Spanish from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. And apart from that support, Tatiana, thank you for such an intimate and powerful conversation today. Your story, I cannot say anything else that it's inspirational and tells others that they can also reinvent themselves and keep on growing. So thanks a lot, Tatiana.
Sorry. Thank you. And those who are listening, your story isn't over. You can always rewrite yourself.
Okay, and for those who are listening, stay tuned and subscribe to Tatiana's channel. More podcasts coming soon.